you're a cinema fan, then you are bound to be a Sergio Leone fan. The Dollars trilogy is second to none when it comes to movie making. The score, the camera work, everything is perfection. But I do think the Dollars trilogy does take a lot of attention away from Sergio Leone's other movies. Case in point, Fistful of Dynamite. In other regions, it's also known as Docu-Soccer. Made in 1972, it tells the story of James Coburn, a former IRB bomber who flees to Mexico during the revolution. There, he meets up with a bandito, played by Rod Steiger, and they form an uneasy alliance and partnership. This movie is awesome. I think it doesn't get half the much attention it deserves in comparison to the Dollars trilogy. Um, James Coburn, he puts on a really dodgy Irish accent, and I've heard a lot of dodgy Irish accents, but it works. I don't know. I've always found that the Sergio Leone characters in his dollar movies are larger than life. They're almost comic book characters, like the Man with No Name and General Mortimer, and just some of the other characters. They're larger than life, and with this, there's no exception. Sean, translated John, is a former IRA bomber, or IRB bomber as was known back then, and he flees to Mexico because he's on the run. And his accent is fantastic. He puts on a very kind of stereotypical Irish accent. There's a fantastic bit where the bandits are pointing guns at him, and he pulls back his jacket, revealing bunches of nitroglycerine. And this line sticks at me the whole time: "If you shoot me, I'll fall. And if I fall, they'll have to change all the maps." And you're like, it's cheesy as hell, but it's fantastic. Rod Steiger is brilliant as Juan, and something tells me that the role was originally intended for Eli Wallach. Rod Steiger's character of Juan is very Tuco-like. He's this very blowhard kind of scraggly, kind of resourceful Mexican, but he's pretty cool. He is a bandito with like a code, and the beginning, which introduces his character, is fantastic, where he's picked up by these aristocrats in a special armored wagon, and they're like insulting him to his face, and then something happens and he manages to get his comeuppance. But it is an awesome movie, and I do think it doesn't get the attention it deserves. Ennio Morricone's score in it is amazing, very organic, very fluid. Another thing you will notice with this movie is there is a lot of kind of symbolism and themes of revolution and dictatorship. Leone himself does make a couple of nods to atrocities which occurred in the Spanish Civil War, and it is a very harrowing movie. For example, in the last of the Dollars trilogy, the incident with the Confederate camp, with the soldiers being tortured and such forth, there was a lot of throwbacks to like stuff that happened during the Spanish Civil War, and indeed the Nazi occupation of certain countries. And this theme is carried over into this movie. It does put forward a point that revolutions, while they do seem to like have a major scale on the greater good, they don't really benefit the common man. And Rod Steiger's character points that out. Like, it's the poor people that fight, it's the poor people that die, and it's always the rich, educated people that are just left squabbling around the table. And it is in its own self a revisionist restaurant. There's no romanticism to it, and I think Leone does a fantastic job at kind of going, look, it's a revolution isn't something that's romantic or to be written or blown up. It's people die, blood is spilt, and at the end of the day, if you can't look after the people you're trying to free, what's the point? Again, Fistful of Dynamite, aka Docu-Soccer, awesome movie, awesome soundtrack, Rod Steiger, James Coburn, can't go wrong. This has been the Trash Picture Show. My name is Martin. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and yeah, Have a good one. Take care. Bye now.